I started recording and writing music with friends, and we've got really nice sounding stuff that we were never in the same room. And that just blows my mind that you can do that. It's super cool.
I mean, relating that to the Beatles thing, isn't that how what the Sgt. Pepper album came together? I went down this deep rabbit hole after that Peter Jackson documentary.
Yeah.
I went all in on Beatles stuff that I could find. And like the Sgt. Pepper album, which I think a lot of fans regard as one of their best ones. And correct me if I'm wrong, if you know anything, if you know more than I do on this, but most of the actual Beatles, the members of the Beatles, like hate that album because they weren't together. It was all done like that was Paul's pet project, and they all did separate stuff that they put together in the end. But the fans love it.
So I just watched, I think I told you about this, but there's a documentary I just heard about, and I watched it last week called If These Walls Could Sing.
Yes.
And that's Paul McCartney's daughter shot it, and it was about Abbey Road, specifically about Abbey Road.
Yep.
And one of the things they talked about is, I didn't know this, but Paul mentioned that the Beatles had in their contract, they had unlimited use of Abbey Road Studios per their contracts with their record company. Most bands, pay like a young band. I mean, they go in and try to knock the studio out as fast as they can because they don't have the money, or or some bands, those big, like a Guns N' Roses where they spend 2 years in a studio. I mean, they blow so much money. So Beatles had unlimited use, and he was saying in that documentary that they just went in and had fun. They were just exploring and trying stuff, having fun essentially, and that's where that kind of album, and that was their psychedelic phase they always talk about. They were like super like into LSD and stuff, and just making all this crazy stuff. It's not my favorite album, but I get it because it's very like, there's so much to it. There's layers, and like, it's not like the first album is just 4 guys playing instruments. When they recorded their first album, I think they said they recorded all those songs in 1 or 2 days or something.
Oh, really?
Mind blowing.
So